You know how when a person is born, they get a birth certificate? It's that official piece of paper that says, hey, welcome to the world, you're officially here. Well, what about an idea? How does a plan or a mission become a real, actual legal thing? It turns out ideas get their own birth certificates too, and we're going to read one right now. So what you're looking at right here, this is one of those documents. Now, don't let it fool you. It might look like a simple piece of paper, but it is packed with some serious power. This single page marks the exact moment an abstract idea gets to step into the real world and gain a legal existence. And today, we're going to decode it piece by piece. Yeah, we're calling this a corporation's birth certificate. And honestly, that's the best way to think about it. In this explainer, we're going to break down how a document just like this one literally breathes life into an organization. And you'll see why every single seal, signature, and date on it is so important. Okay, so what's its official name? It's called a certificate of filing. Think of it like a formal announcement from the government. It's the state stepping up to the microphone and telling the world, all right, everybody, a new player has just officially entered the game, with all the rights and rules that come with it. But who even has that kind of power? The power to just grant legal life? Well, a document's authority all comes down to its source. So to really get why this thing is so powerful, we have to start right at the top. Let's figure out who's making this huge declaration. Look closely here. You've got the official seal of the state of Texas, you see the office of the Secretary of State, and there's a personal signature. This is not some automated email receipt, you know? This is a formal, official act coming from a very specific, high-level state authority. So, the Secretary of State. You might hear that title and think of elections, and you'd be right, but they have this other massive job. They're basically the state's head librarian for every single business and nonprofit. Their role is absolutely fundamental for a functioning economy. And the bottom line is, if you're not on their list, then in the eyes of the law, your corporation just doesn't exist. Period. So just remember that fancy seal and that signature, they are way more than just decoration. They're the whole deal. They're the visual proof of legitimacy, the government's official handshake saying, we see you, you're real. Okay. Every new baby needs a name, right? Well, same thing here. Every new entity needs an identity. So next up, let's see how this birth certificate gives the organization its official name and its own unique ID. And there it is, clear as day, the Institute of Christian Tradition. That's its legal name. And right underneath, you see that file number. You should think of that number as its corporate social security number. It's a totally unique code the state will use to keep track of it forever. The document also tells us exactly what kind of entity this is, a domestic nonprofit corporation. Okay, let's break that down real quick. Domestic? That's easy. It just means it was formed right here, in Texas. And nonprofit? Well, that's key. It means its goal isn't to make money for owners, but to serve some kind of public good, which in this case is probably religious or educational. All right, so we know who created it and what it's called, but when exactly was it born? Every birth certificate has a birthday, and this one is no different. This next part pinpoints the exact moment this organization officially sprang into existence. But first, a little bit of context, because this certificate doesn't just appear out of thin air. It's the final step of a process. First, the founders have to draft a different document, a certificate of formation, and file it. Then the state reviews it, and if everything's good, then they issue this document we're looking at as the official proof. And there it is, the moment of creation, November 14th, 2025. That's the day. That is the exact day the Institute of Christian Tradition went from being just an idea in somebody's head to a legally recognized entity in the state of Texas. And the magic is right here, in the language itself. Hereby issues this certificate evidencing filing effective on the date shown below. That single sentence, that's the legal action happening. It's like the state is waving a magic wand and saying, as of this moment, you are real. Now, you know with any important legal document, you have got to read the fine print. This certificate grants a ton of power, but it also comes with a really important disclaimer about something it doesn't do. This paragraph right here is so important, and it trips up a lot of people. It's basically the state of Texas saying, hey, just because we are letting you use this name for your organization here, that does not mean you're in the clear under other laws, like trademark law. It's a super common point of confusion. So let's make this crystal clear. The state gives you an entity name. That gives you the right to exist and operate in Texas. A trademark, on the other hand, protects a brand name for goods and services. They are two totally different legal concepts. This certificate only gives you the first one. So we've dissected the who, the what, the when, and even the fine print. Let's zoom back out and really talk about why this all matters. I mean, why go through all this trouble for one piece of paper? Well, because its power is, honestly, it's immense. This single document unlocks a whole new world. It creates a completely separate legal person, which is huge because it protects the founders from certain liabilities. This new entity can now own its own property, it can sign contracts, it can even sue or be sued in court, all by itself. And, in theory, it can exist forever, long after the founders are gone. When you boil it all down, this certificate of filing is kind of a work of legal alchemy. It takes something you can't touch, an idea, a mission, a vision, and it forges it into a solid, concrete thing that the law can now recognize, protect, and also hold accountable. And just like that, from one piece of paper, a whole new legal person is born. It really makes you wonder, doesn't it? What other seemingly simple official documents are out there, hiding in plain sight, quietly shaping our entire world every single day?